If you are tuning into Sex Trades with Jackelynne Ouvall Traydes, please make sure you are over 18. This content is not suitable for children or safe for work. If you have a child or someone under 18 in the room, this is your warning. Don't blame me if they hear this. Smooches. Hi everyone, welcome to Sex Trades. It's me, Jackelynne Ouvall Traydes, your most gracious and curvaceous host. Today's episode is going to be all about masturbating. I love masturbating. I don't know anyone that doesn't. There are people that I heard say that masturbating is better than actual sex, but I think that it's always better when someone else is doing something to you. It's kind of like when tickling, in a sense. You don't feel I don't feel ticklish when I'm tickling myself, but when someone else is doing it, I feel all the tickles. Does that make any sense? I think I also am one of those people that is super sensitive everywhere on my body. So if someone just touches my arm, it makes me go crazy. But I don't feel that myself, obviously. But with masturbation, I love to just, I guess, rub one out from time to time. I used to do it quite a lot more. I think during the quarantine when I wasn't getting any at all, it was my max I think has been 4 a day, which I've heard people go up to 9. So I don't think it's that crazy, but generally it's probably once a day or once every other day. At least that's what it is right now. There's only been times, there's been not too many times where I've gone more than 2 days without masturbating, especially since I started masturbating when I was I think I started very old. I think I started when I was in grade 12 masturbating, which is older than most people, but at least from what I know. The longest I've gone without masturbating is probably about a week, and it was kind of weird to me because it was the first time that had happened, and I had sex with someone a week prior or whatever, and I guess I felt good and satisfied. I don't know, it was a crazy feeling that I didn't ever really feel the need for masturbating. And I think at one point I was oh, it's I guess my bedtime, and generally I'll rub one out beforehand, but I didn't want to. And that was I guess a different feeling that I hadn't felt before, that I just felt so satisfied from a couple days ago that I just didn't want to do it. And then because then I hadn't seen the person for a whole week after that, I think I finally masturbated on the 7th or 8th day, and then I saw the person the next day anyway, so it was fine. I mean, not, I don't know, I think I'm just rambling on about this, but yeah, masturbating is a lot of fun when you feel like it, and if you don't feel like it, you don't ever have to do it just for no reason. Although I have heard sometimes that it is, if you're unable to sleep, it does help with that. I've never done it for that reason, but I've heard others that have done it, or I've heard about others that have done it. Sorry, English is clearly not my first language, and that is okay. I think I speak pretty well for someone who technically knows 5 languages. Anyway, yeah, masturbating. Rub one out whenever you feel like it, or, just literally do you when you want to. I mean, obviously, if it's appropriate. Also, can we just talk about this whole look? I am obsessed with this dress and this hat combo. I love a monochromatic or a tonal look, doing the same color with different shades of that color, or just all one color. I think it's so pretty. I used to think it was called color blocking, but color blocking is when you block different colors. But yeah, so I'm obsessed with this whole vibe. I feel like I'm just on vacation right now, and I just need some hot shirtless person to bring me a cocktail, and I'll be all set. But yeah, I think that is it for that topic. Anyway, time for today's question. Talk of shame. Today's question comes from I Do It on the Daily. Good for you. The question is, do people compare sexual experiences to the ones they see on porn? That is a good question. I think we all have to remember that porn is a fantasy, and everything that happens in there is not real. Clearly, they're actors, and a lot of the times their reactions can be exaggerated, especially if it's like a production. Like, it's not like an amateur porn, I guess, or like a sex tape that someone has put out, because there's lots of those. But if it's like a production and whatever, then if it's a production, then generally it is exaggerated a little bit, or there's like storylines with amazing acting in it, and then afterwards they like, when they have the sex, like it's usually when they have the sex, it's usually like over acting a little bit, because it is a fantasy, and you are in that land, or in that fantasy land, for a reason, because you don't want it to necessarily be realistic all the time, and that's okay. But you have to remember that it is fantasy, and that when you are having sex with a real life person, it's not going to be the same necessarily. It's not going to be like them just screaming while you're just literally touching them, unless it's me, because my whole body is like, ooh, just thinking about it makes me, ooh, okay. Anyway, we all have to just remember that porn is not real life, and they are acting, and they are overacting, and that's what they're supposed to do, I guess, in a lot of ways. It's like watching any movie or TV show or anything like that. Most of us don't want to see just, I guess, boring life stuff happen. We want it to be a little bit more dramatic, or we want it to be a little bit more funny, you know. I don't know, I think that that's my way of explaining it, is just remembering that porn is a fantasy, and that we shouldn't compare our real life sex partners to the ones in porn, because that's just not going to happen unless you're having sex with a porn star, and even then, I'm sure when they're having sex, they're not going to be acting the same way that they do in porn, because that's their job. It's not their real life, if that makes any sense. So don't put all that pressure on yourself if someone's not acting in that, like reacting in that way while you're having sex with them, because that doesn't necessarily mean anything. If you're worried about not pleasuring the person enough, just have the conversation with them, see if they're enjoying everything that's happening. Maybe they're just quiet, maybe they enjoy things differently, maybe you're not doing it properly, and they can tell you what to fix or whatever. But don't just compare it to porn and think that that's the end all be all, because it's not. And yeah, just don't do that to yourself or to the other person. It's, I think, extremely unfair to you and to them. So just don't do it, I guess. Let's hand it over to Jackelynne. Oh god. Oh, I'm getting a call. Okay. Hello. Yeah, I'm just hanging out. I just know nothing important. I just threw up a little bit, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'll just have a couple more shots and I'll be fine. Okay, don't worry about me, but thank you. What? Is it fair to be compared to porn actors? Well, I don't know. But what I do know is that, like, I fake it a lot if the person I'm fucking doesn't know what they're doing, and I just don't want to be like, hey, do better. I just fake it. Excuse me, I fake it a lot if I have to. Oh gosh, I'm so out of it right now. I don't know if it's the right thing to do, but I do it. I'm just gonna call you back because fine. Wow. Sometimes I wish I was as brave as Jackelynne, but then other times I'm like, no, that's too much for me. I think that is it for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Smooches. Jackelynne's views, opinions, and advice are all hers, and for lighthearted fun.
Please do not take anything she says too seriously. They also do not reflect the opinions and views of MNP. Thank you.